What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the stream, guys. We got another three-game slate today. As always, for the next 30 minutes or so, I'm just gonna, talk through the slate with you guys, answer your questions, and we'll just kind of hit on everything. Nothing, has changed so far. The only news that we're still waiting on is Nerlens Noel. Nerlens Noel is questionable, which is actually pretty important because if Noel does not play, we will definitely get some value from the Knicks. A guy like Taj Gibson would probably be the best value play on the slate if Noel does not play. So we're still waiting on that news, but everything else, we're good to go. It's the playoffs, so there's really nothing's going to change. Nobody's going to really get ruled out or anything. So, yeah, guys, if you have questions about tonight's slate, throw them in the chat. Hope you guys had a good night last night. I personally did not. It was another pretty rough night for me. Jay Crowder, I went back to Jay Crowder. He got in foul trouble again. I played Devin Booker instead of Paul George. That hurt me a ton. I played Chris Paul and Devin Booker together. I thought that would be super contrarian. I didn't think a ton of people were going to do that. Yeah, that was literally not what that was probably the worst possible thing I could have done because both Booker and Paul were terrible last night. So, yeah, it was a rough night for your boy, but we'll bounce back tonight. The playoffs have not been great for me so far, but we're going to get going at some point, I'm sure. What's good, Noel? Appreciate you as always. Hey, appreciate you being here, my man. Thanks for tuning in. We need you to break the tie, Noah Gibson or Favors. For me, if Noel's out, I would much rather play Gibson. If Noel plays, then it would be pretty close. You're probably if Noel plays, you probably get 20 minutes for Taj Gibson. You probably get 15 minutes for Derek Favors. So it would be close there. I don't really have a strong stance there. I would say that if Noel sits, though, definitely would rather have Gibson. What was your lineup last night? I can read off real quick. It was really bad, really bad. It seems like I'm landing pretty much every landmine possible I've been hitting on lately. So if a guy sucks, that I probably played him. So Kemba Walker, he had an okay game, but he didn't play at all in the fourth quarter. The blowout really killed Kemba. Devin Booker was terrible. Robert Williams got in foul trouble, and he was a big bust. Chris Paul, I played with Devin Booker, and Chris Paul was terrible. And then the rest was just, I had Kawhi, but Kawhi was massively owned, so that didn't really matter too much. I did have DeAndre Ayton, who was a little bit less owned than I thought he would be, but Batum was mediocre, Jay Crowder was mediocre, and just lineup finished with 235. Kemba, Booker, Kawhi, Jay Crowder, Robert Williams, Chris Paul, Batum, and DeAndre Ayton. Been running bad in the playoffs so far. Been running bad. It seems like every night some dude I play is getting in foul trouble, or I play a couple guys from one team and the game blows out. Hopefully we don't have any of that tonight, I would say. What's good, Noah? I imagine you dancing to that music, getting hyped for the stream. I'll be honest, Robert, I just sit here with OBS open, I just wait for the timer to go down. I have to play some music though, and I have to play copyright-free music. I would like to play, whatever I wanted, but on YouTube, if you want to monetize your content, you have to play copyright-free music. So I have to basically find stuff that's copyright-free. And usually it's just, stuff on the YouTube audio library. Harris, Simmons, Gobert, or Capella. I'd probably go with Simmons there, Barnesdale, but I think all those guys project pretty similarly, but I would say Simmons. I do prefer Simmons over Harris, just slightly. I think they both are pretty good plays, but if I had to choose one, I'd rather have Ben Simmons. Yo, Noel, what's up, Brian? What's up, my man? Bomb last night as well. Where's the value tonight? I'm eyeing Taj Gibson, Bertans, and Berks for value. Yeah, I still really like Alec Berks. I talked about him in my video last night. I liked him a lot last slate. He did well. I like him again tonight. He probably plays 25, close to 30 minutes off the bench. He's productive when he gets minutes. He's still fairly cheap. So I like Alec Burks for value. I like Danny Green for value, as gross as that sounds. I think, Danny Green for 4K is a pretty solid value option. And then, Taj Gibson, if Noel's out, love Taj Gibson. Bertans, I think's okay. Never feel good about Bertans, but, value's pretty thin. So that's kind of where I'm looking to for value. $1. I forgot to mention this. $1 super chat from my man Didi. Thank you, Didi. I totally skipped over that. Thank you for the $1 super chat, my man. I greatly appreciate that. Thank you, man. Rondo and Crowder killed me. Yeah, I liked Rondo as well. I played Rondo on Yahoo. I didn't play him on Draftkings, though, but Crowder I played on both sites, and I checked. I wasn't watching the game at the start, but I checked the box score, and Crowder literally had 2 fouls in 2 minutes, and I already knew that it was just going to be one of those nights again. And then he came back in. I think he picked up his third foul super quick. I think Crowder literally played 6 minutes in the first half because he was in foul trouble. Just super annoying. You think Bill's a good option? I would say yeah. I mean, I prefer Julius Randle. I prefer Trae Young, but Bradley Beal's definitely in play. He's probably my favorite Wizard. I would prefer Beal over Westbrook given the savings. But there's other studs I prefer over Bradley Beal, just straight up. Trust me, Noel, you're not alone. Foul trouble has been killing everyone unless you are lucky. I mean, yeah, that's true. Like Robert Williams was super popular last night. He burned a lot of people, but I mean, Jay Crowder wasn't that popular. I've been on Jay Crowder back-to-back slates, and he's been in foul trouble both days. One of these games when Jay Crowder doesn't get in foul trouble, he's going to play like 33 minutes and score a good. He's going to score like 26 DK points and be a good value. But it seems like every time I play Jay Crowder, he gets in foul trouble. It's been annoying. And then Embiid last slate I played, he got in foul trouble. I like Embiid again, so hopefully that doesn't happen again. But yeah, Embiid or Randall on DK, I'd probably rather play Embiid if you have the salary. But I think both are really good pay-up options, Christopher. Yeah, I like that music. I got up and started dancing. My dog's going crazy. Hey, glad you like it, Mark. I try and mix it up. I try and just kind of find different stuff. So whatever I see, sounds all right. I'll play that. What do you think about Neto tonight? I don't have much interest in Neto. T-Money, Neto he's kind of like a Davis Bertans for me. Just never a guy you enjoy rostering. Just it feels like anytime you play him, it never works. He's going to start, probably get like low to mid-20s minutes. For 3,900, he's an okay value. I feel better about Danny Green, though. And as weird as it sounds, I think Danny Green has more upside than Raw Neto, as weird as that sounds. But yeah, I'd probably rather play like Danny Green. I'd rather play Alec Berks. Like Davis Bertans, I think I'd rather play over Neto. Like Neto's fine, but I think I'd only be going to him if I was trying to make like a Stars and Scrubs lineup, which I don't know if I would do on this slate. Then yeah, I think Neto would be viable, but nothing more than that. I mean, there's other values I have ahead of him. I played Joe Harris and got super lucky. Yeah, I was watching the first quarter of that game. Joe Harris literally couldn't miss. I think he went 5 for 5 or like 6 for 6 from 3 in the first quarter. Once Brooklyn was up by 20 and Joe Harris had like 25 DraftKings points in the first quarter, I mean, I just knew it was going to be one of those nights. Tonight's our night, bro. I'm like 0-4 in these damn playoffs too. Yeah, playoffs have not been treating me well. Sucks, but yeah, we're gonna get right at some point. I had a good regular season, but the playoffs have not been treating me well. Simmons, Rose, Green, Harris, Favors, Young, Bertans, and Embiid. I mean, I don't know if I would want to play Simmons, Harris, and Embiid all together. Like I think playing all three of those guys, you're kind of capping your upside a little bit. So maybe just go with 2 of the 3 there, but the rest is okay. I mean, Derek Favors, I'm not a big fan of, but if you do play Derek Favors, you got to hope that, Gobert gets in foul trouble. I think Gobert got in foul trouble last game, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Gobert only played 25 minutes last game. He fouled out in 25 minutes. I'm assuming Derek Favors, got a good amount of run because of that. Yeah, Derek Favors played 23 minutes last game. I mean, obviously a lot of that had to do with him getting in foul trouble, but I mean, you could go to Derek Favors. I don't think I'm going to go there, but that's fine if it makes your lineup work. Hey, Noah, Lopez for a center, please stay safe. Thanks. Hey, sure thing, Maria. Lopez, I mean, yeah, like I'm okay with Lopez. He's another guy I don't really have a ton of confidence in, but if I had to choose one of the 3 Washington bigs, like Lopez probably over Gafford, given the savings. I mean, I don't know. Like I don't want to play any of the Washington bigs. At this point, I'm just done playing them because it seems like whichever one I play just doesn't. It's whoever I play. Like if I play Lopez, Gafford will have a big game and he'll get minutes. If I play Lopez or if I play Lynn, then one of the other one. Like I just can't get the Washington bigs right. I think on this slate, I probably am going to be trying to pay up at center for like Embiid or J-Val. So yeah, I don't know if I go to Lopez. Like especially if Nerlens Noel gets ruled out, like I would much rather just play Taj Gibson over Lopez. Do you like Donovan Mitchell, and who's your favorite stud? Mitchell, I'm a bit worried about Mitchell just because he hasn't played in a while. Like it's been over a month since Mitchell played. I'm assuming he's going to be full go, but maybe he's a little rusty. Maybe they limit his minutes a little bit. I'd be a bit hesitant to go to Mitchell. I think I'd rather play Trae Young over Mitchell, just me personally. Favorite stud though, I mean it's between like Trae Young or Embiid, one of those two. I like Julius Randle as well. I think it might be Trae Young. He might be my favorite stud on this slate. What's up, Noah? Seth Curry or Reggie Bullock? Give me Seth Curry there for sure, Chris. Reggie Bullock last game only played like 20 minutes. I don't know if that happens again, but I mean that's definitely concerning that Bullock, lost a lot of minutes to guys like Alec Berks, and they played quickly a lot last game. I don't know if they do that again. But I would definitely rather have Seth Curry there. Ben Simmons or Mike Connolly? Give me Ben Simmons. I hope Bertans pulls a Joe Harris tonight. I mean, yeah, if you play Bertans, you basically just got to hope that he can, he gets hot from three like Joe Harris did last night. I mean, Joe Harris, I know, I think he had like 2 or 3 steals, which is a little bit of a fluke, but he couldn't miss. I mean, I know in the first quarter he was like he made like 5 or 6 3-pointers in the first quarter. So if you play Bertans, you basically just got to hope that, he can knock down those threes. That's what he's going to have to do. But he's cheap. He's a good shooter. The minutes should be there. I'm fine with Bertans. Did you see Robert Williams get 3 fouls in 30 seconds? Blake Griffin posterized him twice in a row. I did not see that. I was not once the game looked like it was going to be a blowout, I just turned it off. But if Robert Williams picked up 3 fouls in 3 minutes or 3 fouls in 30 seconds, I mean, my God, that's bad. What do you think of Ish Smith and Taj Gibson? Ish Smith, for me, don't have much interest in. Like, where's his price at? I haven't even looked at him today. I mean, he's $4,700. He's going to get like mid-20s minutes, but he feels priced appropriately, if not a little bit too expensive. Like, I think if Ish Smith was $3,700, I'd have a lot more interest, but at $4,700, he's an okay option at that. Taj Gibson, for me, depends on if Noel plays. If Noel's out, I love Taj Gibson. If Noel plays, I'm not going to go there. So we do need that Noel news, because I think that Noel news is pretty important. Would you play 3 Knicks? I think you can. I mean, it depends on which 3 you're playing, but I like Alec Berks, I like Julius Randall, I like Gibson if Noel's out. I have some interest in RJ Barrett. I like Derrick Rose. So I do like. I mean, I'm pretty sure I played 3 Knicks last slate. It didn't work, but I'd be fine doing it again. A lot of the Knicks feel underpriced right now, so yeah, I'm fine with that. Gobert or Capella? Give me Capella over Gobert if I had to choose between those two. Conley, Collins, or Barrett? For me, Barnesdale, it would probably be between Conley or Barrett. I think now that Mitchell's back, I'd probably go Barrett there, but it's close. Probably Barrett, though. Beal, Mitchell, or Harris, pick one. Give me Bradley Beal for sure. Bradley Beal over Mitchell, and Bradley Beal over Harris, definitely. Fanning Randall and Trey OK on Yahoo for J-Val, Rose, Anderson. I mean, I'm fine with that, Anson. Like, I do really like Trey on Yahoo, and I like Randall as well. But you don't have to play them. I mean, there's plenty of other guys you could pay up for. Like, yeah, you could play J-Val, I mean, those guys are kind of different positions, but yeah, I mean, you don't have to play Randall or Trey. Those are 2 of my favorite studs, but there's plenty of other guys you could go to on this slate. Let's see if I missed any of these questions. Let's see. I think I answered all those. Every time I make a lineup, I find myself having trouble at the extra guard spot. Who would you like there for 4K and under? 4K and under at guard? Let's see, Didi, let's see. I mean, there's not much down here. Like, probably Neto. If I had to play somebody, it would probably be him. I mean, out of all these guys, like, I feel like Neto's minutes are the safest. So, yeah, it'd probably be Neto. I mean, I don't like much down there, Didi, but it'd probably be Neto. Or you could maybe, like, try and reconstruct or maybe swap somewhere else if you wanted to. But Neto's fine there. Randall, Berks, and Quickly, or Tobias Harris, Brooks, and O'Neal for cash. Randall, Berks, Quickly, Tobias Harris, Brooks, O'Neal. I mean, I probably wouldn't be playing Quickly in cash. I don't know if I'd be playing Royce O'Neal in cash either. But I'd rather have Randall and Berks over Harris and Brooks. So give me the first one there, Gabriel. Conley, Grayson Allen, Berks, Bertans, Embiid, Neto, Harris, Randall. And Grayson Allen, God, like I don't have that much interest in Grayson Allen. I mean, his minutes are just like, he did play, I think, like low 20s last game. Yeah, he got 23 minutes last game. He wasn't that productive, though. I mean, I guess T-Money, if Grayson Allen fits in your build and you like the rest of it, I'm fine playing him, but yeah, I'm not a big fan of Grayson Allen. Like, another guy that I just never enjoy playing. And anytime I do play him, if I ever do, it feels like it never works. But the rest I'm fine with. You can maybe you could like downgrade Conley to Derrick Rose and then upgrade from Grayson Allen. Seth Curry viable tonight. I like him a lot on Yahoo. If you play on Yahoo, Seth Curry's super cheap there. On Draftkings, I think he's an okay option, but he looks really good on Yahoo. I think that's where most of my interest is coming from. Seth Curry. You like Danny Green and Noel. Danny Green I do like for value. Danny Green's never a guy you feel good rostering, but he's 4K. It's a good matchup. He's going to play 30 to 32 minutes. I do like Danny Green for value. Nerlens Noel, I have some interest in. If he plays, he probably starts and gets like mid-20s minutes. He's also pretty cheap, 4K. If I had to choose between the two, I'd rather have Danny Green. But, yeah, I think Green and Noel are both decent value plays. You like Danny Green and Berks for value? Yes, I like both those guys. Love the channel. Hey, I'm glad you like the channel, Danny. Glad you like the channel. Is it bad to play Berks and Rose in the same lineup? I don't think so. There was talk that the Knicks might change up their starting lineup tonight. Elfrid Payton started again last game, but he only played like 8 minutes. Derrick Rose played like almost 40 minutes. I wouldn't be surprised if you see Derrick Rose start over Payton tonight, which he probably should be doing at this point. So, yeah, I definitely like Derrick Rose and Berks. I think you can play them together. I see no problems why not. I mean, there's a good chance that both those guys are in the closing lineup. I'm pretty sure they were both in the closing lineup last game. So are you sure you wouldn't run Simmons, Harrison, and Embiid in the same lineup? I don't think I'd be doing that, Chris, just because I feel like you're really kind of capping your upside at that point. And if you are playing all three of those guys, like you probably want to be playing like a Bradley Beal or a Westbrook. And if you play Simmons, Harris, Embiid, and like Beal, I mean, you just have no salary after that. Me personally, I think I'd only be playing two of the three. I just feel like, what are the chances you get ceiling games from all three of those guys? Like, Embiid's going to have to put up like 60, Simmons is going to have to put up like 45, and Harris is going to have to put up like 40. Like, does that happen? I guess it could, but I probably would only go with two of the three. Like, if I had to pick two of the three, I'd go Simmons and Embiid. Fun fact, Bertans once scored 50 DK points in a slate. Yeah, I think when he was on the Spurs, I know he's had some massive games when he used to be on the Spurs. Bertans used to actually, I'm pretty sure if I remember correctly, like he was priced at like 6K at one point. Like Bertans actually used to be like a really good like fantasy player when he was with San Antonio. Capella or J-Val? Definitely give me J-Val there. I mean, J-Val's probably my second favorite center behind Embiid. Like if you can't pay up for Embiid at center, I think it's totally fine to go down to J-Val. They played J-Val almost 40 minutes last game. If J-Val gets near 40 minutes, this dude's going to put up big games a ton. Like, he's going to have multiple 50-plus point games if you're getting 38, 40 minutes from J-Val. Randall and Danny Green or Embiid in favors? Give me Randall and Danny Green there. Tony Snell will break the slate tonight. Did Tony Snell even play last game? I don't even think Tony Snell was in the rotation last game. He might have been. I can't remember. Thank you, Go. Let's get it. Good luck tonight, y'all. Hey, good luck to you as well, Team Money. Appreciate you being here as always, my man. I'm not going to give you any money today since you told me not to, LOL, but thanks for what you do for us. Let's get it tonight. Hey, appreciate you, Mark. Thanks for being here, man. And yes, thank you for not donating. I don't want your money. Please keep it. But thank you for being a member. Thank you, for supporting the channel as always, Mark. You're a real one, my man. Thank you. Dylan Brooks or RJ Barrett on DK? I would say give me RJ Barrett. I think Brooks might be a little bit over-owned today, given, he had a massive game last game. I don't think Brooks is like a bad player or anything, but I would probably rather have RJ Barrett. I think you're going to get big minutes from both guys. I think really whichever one's lower owned, I'd probably prefer, honestly, because I think they project very similarly. Simmons, Harris, Embiid, and Trey. Simmons and Embiid both went for 30 points last game. I like any team against the Wizards. I mean, yeah, I guess if there was any team, or if there was any time when you could play Simmons, Harrison, and Embiid together, like it would be against the Wizards, just because the Wizards can't stop anybody. I feel like Simmons and Harris, though, obviously they both had ceiling games last game, but I think a lot of that had to do with Embiid getting in foul trouble. So let's say Embiid doesn't get in foul trouble last game. Does Tobias Harris go for whatever he did, 50? Does Ben Simmons put up 50? Probably not. That's why I'd just be a little bit hesitant to play all three of those guys together. What'd you think of this, Noel? Rose, Herter, Berks, Randall, Gafford, Simmons, Green, Embiid. I mean, I like most of it. Gafford's risky. Like, he could get in foul trouble here. I'm pretty sure he had like 4 fouls last game. That's a huge concern going up against Embiid. But if Gafford can stay out of foul trouble and he gets the minutes, he's got a ton of upside. Herter, I never play Kevin Herter, but he's fine if he fits. So I think that's okay, Brandon. It's just Herter and Gafford I think are kind of, wild cards. How does this sound if Noel's out? D. Rose, Brooks, Green, Gibson, Embiid, Simmons, Berks, Trey. I think that's very solid. I would assume that Noel plays. Like, I'm pretty sure they already said that he should be good to go. But yeah, if he's out, I'm going to like Taj Gibson a lot if Noel's out. Barrett and Quickly or Berks and Gallo for showdown. I'd probably go Barrett and Quickly there. J-Val or Rudy Gobert on DK, both paired with T.Y. and Tobias. J-Val or Rudy Gobert? I'd rather have J-Val over Gobert. Let's say Noel plays. I think Gibson is still playable. Is he not? I mean, I would just be a little bit hesitant for Gibson. So Gibson played, I think, 24 minutes last game, but Noel got injured and did not return. So let's say Noel doesn't get injured last game. Gibson probably only plays like 18 minutes maybe. So could Taj Gibson still put up a decent game in like 15, 18 minutes? He could, but I would feel a lot better about him if Noel sits. If Noel plays, I doubt I go to Taj Gibson. So that's just a wait and see for now. Playoffs so far, studs letting me down. Yeah, I feel the same way. It feels like the studs have been disappointing for me lately. And, it seems like my value plays have been sucking as well. I mean, nothing's been going my way so far in the playoffs, but yeah, I totally feel you. Danny Green or Gafford? I mean, I feel better about Danny Green. I think he plays more minutes. Gafford's the better per-minute player, but who knows how many minutes Gafford plays. Plus, there's foul trouble concerns. I feel like Danny Green's a safer option. Gafford probably gives you more upside. So, if you're playing like cash games, I would definitely play Danny Green. If you're playing tournaments, you could go with Gafford there. I know J-Val or Gobert, thanks for the videos. Sure thing as always, sure thing. J-Val or Gobert, yeah, we said it earlier. Give me J-Val. Bertans was my neighbor in high school. He had a community basketball court, and he broke the hoop 3 times in one summer. He was in 7th grade. That's crazy if that's true. That's crazy if that's true, Brian. My core 5 are Young, Rose, Brooks, Anderson, and Gafford. I mean, I like most of that. Gafford, again, he's kind of a wild card. You gotta hope he doesn't get in foul trouble, but if he can play like 22, 24 minutes, I mean, Gafford does have upside. But yeah, Young, D. Rose, I like all those guys. Simmons, Harris, or Embiid if you had to play one. I mean, probably Embiid, just because center's not as deep. Like, there's multiple guards I like. There's some forwards I like. Center, for me, is really just like J-Val and Embiid, and that's pretty much it. So I'd probably take Embiid if you can fit him. I'm up in here, been a while. Let's get it, Noah. Hey, appreciate you tuning in, Lamar. Appreciate you tuning in, my man. Thanks as always. Guys, if you got any last-minute questions, throw them in the chat. We're just going to be live for a few more minutes, answer any last-minute questions you got. But as always, guys, I do appreciate you tuning in. Mitchell, Rose, Berks, Beal, Connolly, Simmons, Gafford, O'Neal. I mean, there's some guys in there like I don't really like that much. Mitchell and Connolly, I don't know if I'd be playing Mitchell and Connolly together. I feel like you're kind of capping your upside a bit. Mitchell, I'm definitely worried about just because, he hasn't played in over a month. We just don't know how he's going to look. Gafford, we've mentioned already, could be a good value. It's just he's super risky. And then O'Neal, I mean, I never like playing Royce O'Neal, but he's fine, I guess, if it fits your build. I mean, you got some risky plays in there, Carlos. Maybe, I don't know, maybe you could make a swap off of Mitchell. Like, maybe you could try and play Trae Young over Mitchell since you already have Conley. I don't know if I'd want to play those guys together. Could you play D. Rose, Berks, Randall, and Gibson in the same lineup if Noel's out? I think that's fine, honestly. I think that's fine, Brandon. I mean, Gibson's so cheap that I don't really care. Like, Gibson could play 20 minutes and still get there. I think D. Rose and Berks, yeah, like, I'm fine with that, Brandon. I'm fine with that. Last slate, I played Berks, Randall, and Reggie Bullock together. So, yeah, I'd be fine playing 3 Knicks, potentially 4 if Noel sits. Which game are you focused on most tonight? I mean, I like a lot of these Knicks guys. We've already talked about it. Julius Randle, RJ Barrett, Rose, Berks, Gibson, if Noel's out. Like, there's a lot of guys I like from the Knicks. I'm probably going to have at least 2 or 3 Knicks in my lineup tonight. So, I like the Knicks a lot. I like running it back with, Trae Young, who we've talked about already. That's kind of the game I think I have the most interest in. And then, obviously, on Philly, you could play the big guys from Philly. But in terms of interest on both sides, I would say the Knicks-Hawks game. Even though it has like a really low total, I like a good amount there. If Embiid never got in foul trouble, he would have scored 50 real-life points easy. Yeah, Embiid would have smashed last game if he wouldn't have gotten in foul trouble. And he should smash tonight if he can stay out of foul trouble again. Is it okay to fade Randall tonight? I mean, I think you can. There's plenty of other pay-up options. You have Trae Young, you have Embiid, you have Bradley Beal. You have J-Val, who I like a lot. I do like Julius Randall, but I don't think you have to play him. There's plenty of other guys you could go to. Trey, Beal, Berks, Randall, Capella, Quickly, Gibson, Gafford. I mean, you got some wild cards in there, like I said, with Gafford. Quickly, like, I don't know what his minutes are going to look like. Like, does he play the same amount of minutes he did last game? Who knows? So he's a little bit risky, but that's fine, Derek. That's fine. I mean, I like the rest outside of those guys. Those guys are just a little bit more risky than the rest. You think Quickly will be today's Joe Harris? I mean, I hope not, because I'm probably not going to play him. Like, I know Quickly played a lot more than I thought he would last game. He played, how much did he play? Yeah, he played 21 minutes. Quickly's one of those guys, like, if he gets hot, like, they're just going to let him play. But if he goes out there and he's just not doing much, I mean, he's only going to play like 15 minutes. So Quickly's he's a wild card. If he goes out there and starts knocking down threes, yeah, they're going to leave him out there, and he's going to take minutes from guys like Reggie Bullock and, those other guys. But it's a risky play. I mean, you never know what Tibbs is going to do. I was honestly surprised that Quickly was even in, the playoff rotation. I didn't think he was going to play. I know one thing for tomorrow, I will not be playing Butler, Adebayo, Lopez, nor Hero. I haven't looked at the pricing yet, but I said it earlier. I think Jimmy Butler once again is going to be a good play. I don't care. He burned me last slate, but if Jimmy Butler's still affordable, I'm probably going to play him again tomorrow. I don't know what his price is though. Thanks for the stream, Noel. You got it, Brian. You got it, my man. Thoughts on J-Val as a last man in? Totally fine with that. Embiid plus Thibault or Beal plus Neto, which pair can give more points? I'm probably going to go with Embiid and Thibault. I mean, Thibault I don't really like, but I would definitely rather have Embiid over Beal. I think Thibault and Neto, could both give you like 15, so I'd take the first one there. I think you do a great job making these videos and answer people's questions. Keep up the great work, Noah. Hey, thank you, Daniel. Thank you, my man. Glad you enjoy the videos. Fade Westbrook, I'm fine with that. I don't think you have to play Westbrook. I think Westbrook's going to be low owned, so... Again, if like we talked about it last night, I thought Anthony Davis was going to be one of the lowest owned studs, and he smashed, and he was like 15% owned. So that could be Westbrook could be tonight's Anthony Davis, but I don't think I'm playing Westbrook. There's just too many other guys I like for cheaper. What about Hunter from Atlanta? I don't have much interest in DeAndre Hunter. Like I think he started last game, but he just didn't play a ton of minutes. He hasn't really looked that healthy. I mean, he hasn't been that great on a point per minute basis, so. I'm probably not going there, Chris. I don't have much interest in Hunter. Like, I'd rather play Danny Green. I feel better about Danny Green. And it's, Danny Green's been about the same permanent player that DeAndre Hunter has. Butler, 8,400 on DK. Yeah. Ooh. I mean, I haven't looked at the slate yet, but there's a good chance Jimmy Butler's going to be in my lineup again tomorrow. I don't care. My connection went out Quickly, and Barrett or Gallo and Berks. I think I said Quickly and Barrett. So Quickly and Barrett there. Rui viable at all? Yeah, Rui I think is definitely playable. He's going to get the minutes. Rui's production's always inconsistent. Like, you never know what you're going to get from Rui, but the minutes should be there, and he's still affordable, so I'm fine with Rui. How many minutes do you think Barrett gets? Been kind of unstable. I would assume that most nights Barrett's going to play like 35, close to 40 minutes. So I think he's going to play high 30s, if not into the 40s. RJ Barrett is. Embiid, Bullock, or Brooks and Trae Young? Give me Brooks and Trae Young there. Thoughts on Herter and Hunter on the same lineup? I don't think I'd be playing those two guys together. Like, neither one have looked that great lately. So I probably wouldn't do that, honestly. Embiid and Harris or Young and Simmons? I'd go Embiid and Harris there. Reggie Bullock, Seth Curry, or Kevin Herter? Give me Seth Curry. Think Mitchell takes away usage might fade Utah. Like, yeah, I kind of agree. Like, Utah's not a team I have much interest in now that Mitchell's back. Like, Mitchell coming back takes me off of Ingles, makes Connolly look not as good. I don't like Bojan that much anymore, so I'm kind of with you. I don't really like too much from Utah now that Mitchell's back. All right, last question from my man Lamar. He says Simmons or Trey. Give me Trae Young there over Ben Simmons. But that's going to wrap up the stream, guys. I do appreciate you tuning in, as always. We'll be live again tomorrow for, I'm pretty sure we got another 3-game slate on Thursday. So we'll be live again tomorrow for the 3-game slate tomorrow. I hope you guys have a good night. Good luck tonight. If I don't win a tournament, hope one of you guys do. All right, good luck, fellas. And thanks as always for tuning in.